Hello, good morning, friends. Once again, I am your Oniri ma'am, and today I came with the uh, chapter 3, part 2, The Black Aeroplane, where another inspiring and motivational story that never give up in your hard time or never give up in your adverse time. Okay, here we find the story of a person who really wants to meet his family and want to have a very good English breakfast with his family. So he was flying, though the situation is not good, though the atmosphere is not under control, and though he decided to fly from the through the storm clouds, and how he overcome from that storm and successfully land his flight. Okay. Yes, about the author. Frederick McTree Forster was born in Ashford, Kent, England on August 25th, 1938, the son of Frederick William Forster and Phyllis Green Forster. While at the Tonbridge School in Kent, he was a voracious reader, reading anything I could get my hands on that had to do with adventure. He also developed a keen interest in foreign languages, learning French, German, and Spanish as well as some Russian and Italian. Here, just general introduction that he was born on 25th August 1938, son of Frederick William Forster and Phyllis Green Forster. At his Tonbridge School in Kent, he was a voracious reader, reading anything I could get my hands on that had to do with adventure. Means anything was it's in his hand to read, that thing is kind of adventure. It doesn't matter that what genre should be there, what kind of topic should be there. Whatever he is reading, he feels that it's like an adventure. He has also developed a keen interest in foreign languages. He is fond of to learn these foreign languages, and he also learned French, German, Spanish, as well as Russian and Italian. I think it's a good thing, because whenever you are learning different languages, you also come across the different cultures too. And if you want to learn this kind of language, then you also have to be part of this kind of cultures too. So every new language, or every learning of a new language, it always connect us with the new culture, with the new lives, living life pattern, their different food, the way they wear the clothes. Everything is connected with the language, because language occurs from this kind of a culture kind of phenomenon. He frequently vacationed on this continent, where he polished his language proficiency. As I told you, he frequently vacationed on these continents. He visited different continents to learn these different languages, because you will be able to learn the language where you get the atmosphere of a particular language. If you want to learn English, then you have this atmosphere of English. If you heard English everywhere, every time, then you will be able to grab these things and you will be able to speak. So atmosphere is work at most while you are thinking about to learning a particular language, and that is why he frequently vacationed on this kind of continent, where he can polish his language proficiency. He was also an avid motorcyclist, a bullfighter, and airplane pilot. His formal schooling ended when he was 17 only a few days after his 17th birthday, Fausti had qualified for a pilot's license and he joined the Royal Air Force RAF. In May of 1956, he soon became the youngest fighter pilot in the RAF. Okay, so his formal schooling was ended when he was 17. On his 17th, after a few days of his 17th birthday, he had qualified for a pilot's license and he joined the Royal Air Force RAF in May 9th of 1956, and then he soon became the youngest fighter pilot in the Royal Air Forces. But it won't long last. Slowly and steadily he left this Air Force kind of thing, and then he become chief editor playing a role as an editor in this magazine and this press kind of thing. And after passing some time he become this so later he become the writer this way. He is best known for the thriller. His thriller writing in the genre of thriller, he is best for that and best known for that. And these are the list of his best thrillers, like Day of the Jackal, The Odessa File, The Fourth Protocol, The Dogs of War, The Devil's Alternative, The First of God, Icon, The Veteran, Avenger, The Afghan, The Cobra, and The Kill List. So these are his thriller novels. Yes, introduction. So the lesson Black Airplane by Frederick Fausti reflects on how one's judgment gets distorted due to fantasizing and how it creates problems. In this chapter, the narrator is a pilot who is so eager to meet his family and have a good breakfast that he takes the wrong decision of facing the storm instead of doing the right thing. Miraculously, he somehow manages to escape with the help of a mysterious aeroplane. So, here is in the story the narrator, who was a pilot, who really want to meet his family, who is eager to meet his family and want a very good English breakfast with his family. So, he decided to fly at night. When he was started his journey, the atmosphere is cool, it's too good. But all of a sudden he is facing storm, and rather go back, he decide to go through the storm, and he wants to reach Paris, and he really wants to have English breakfast with his family. So he is eager to meet his family, and that is why he took a wrong decision. But probably God with him, and some mysterious plane come towards the narrator, and it helps him to overcome from that storm safely. When he landed at the airport, he tried to know about that plane and the pilot, but at the end he comes to know that he was the only one who was flying the plane in the sky. No other plane was flying, and the mystery of that mysterious plane and the pilot who came to him to help him, who came towards him to help, it's a mystery, and no one can get the idea, and narrator can't get idea that what is the plane which lead him a right path, a right path to overcome from that storm safely. And this decision is wrong of facing the storm instead of doing the right thing. Miraculously, he managed to escape with the help of the mysterious aeroplane. But luck will not always with us. So, whenever you are facing a hard time or adversity, you must work with your rational thing rather than the emotional things. That is the lesson we have to learn from this. If you are alive, you can meet your family tomorrow, but to meet your family, it doesn't mean you put your life in danger. Summary: the story Black Aeroplane is about a pilot who feels happy and contented to fly over a city that is sleeping at the night time. He is flying from Paris to London. Yeah, he is flying from Paris to London. So he wants to meet his family in London. While taking his flight, he dreams about the long holiday with his family. The family holiday and have a good time with his family. That is only was going in his mind. He is flying from Paris to London, and while he is taking his flight, he dreams about the long holiday with his family. He also fantasize about the scrumptious breakfast he would have upon landing. As soon as he crosses Paris, he gets look of the dark clouds that were a sign of the upcoming storm. So he has just crosses the Paris only, and because he took his flight from Paris to London, so he has just passed the Paris now, and he gets a look of the dark clouds that were the sign of the upcoming storm. And meant he sees that the okay, when he took his flight, the atmosphere is good, the atmosphere is light and very very much calm and safe and sound. But after crossing the Paris, he saw that there was sudden change in this atmosphere, and he get the idea that very soon he has to face a storm, because the atmosphere is uh, is changed such a drastically. And he got a sign, though he decided to go through this storm rather than to go back. The right decision would have been to turn back to Paris for the sake of safety, but he, being overshadowed by his dreams and not wanting to delay them, risked the life of his passengers and heads straight into the storm. Everything gets dark. He is unable to see all his direction. Instrument stops functioning, and he lost control of the plane. Now, he says that the right decision would have been to turn back to the Paris for the sake of the safety. The safety is there. If you have clear idea that you have to face storm, then everyone do the same decision, because it's a rational one. So you have to think rational and you have to go back. But he was so he being overshadowed by his dreams, he has such a craving for getting a very good breakfast with the family, and that is why he wants to he took risk and the life of his passengers also, and head straight into the storm. Now everything gets dark. He is unable to see anything because the cloud is too dark. Okay, all his direction instruments stopped functioning. All his instruments slowly and steadily stopped functioning, and he lost the control of the plane. Now he couldn't even control his plane, because the wind storm is a heavy powerful wind uh, um, to stand in front. It's such a difficult task. When all hope was lost, he saw another plane whose pilot was more than willing to rescue them. The author was panicking as there was very less amount of fuel left. The anonymous pilot, anonymous pilot guided them out of the storm and disappeared as soon as they saw light. Upon landing, when he asked the lady in the control room about the other pilot, he is left in shock when she says that his was the only plane in the sky. Now, when all hope was lost, as I told you, that he saw another plane who is there to rescue them or help them out from the storm, and the author was panicking as there was a less fuel in this fuel left in the plane, and then the anonymous pilot guided them out of the storm, and the pilot and the plane disappeared as soon as they show light. Okay, in that black cloud, the plane and that unknown pilot was there, but whenever they come up in the light, the pilot and the plane both are disappeared. Upon landing, he land his plane safely and he asked the lady in the control room, as we all know that if you want to fly in this cloud, then there are such a control rooms are there who to guide to you about the weather, about your plane, about the condition of this weather, of where you have to land, where you want to take off. So he asked the lady in the control room and about that other pilot who is flying his plane through this black and dark stormy clouds. He is left in shock. He was shocked when he came across the thing that the lady said that he was the only pilot, or his plane was the only plane which fly in the sky. Means there is not any other plane was flying due with this plane of pilot. So it is the mystery of this rescued plane or pilot who came to save the author and the author and the plane and the passengers who are there in that plane. Text. Okay. The moon was coming up in the east behind me, and stars were shining in the clear sky above me. So this is the atmosphere when he started his journey from Paris to London, that the moon was coming up in the east. Slowly and steadily the moon was coming up from the east behind him, and stars were shining in the clear sky. Well, stars and moon are there, it means that atmosphere is very much clear, very much good. Means there is no signs of storm, no signs of rain. So he says that the atmosphere was very clear when he was started his journey. The stars were shining in the sky, the moon was coming from the east, coming up in the east behind him. Okay, clear sky above me means above him there is a clear sky, was their atmosphere was very much in the favor of him. There wasn't cloud in the sky. I was happy to be alone high up above the sleeping countryside. The sleeping countryside means it suggests the time of night. So he was flying his plane or his flight at night. I was flying my old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. So now what kind of plane he flight? He was flying old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. Paris means France back to England. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward to being with my family. I looked at my watch, 1:30 in the morning. Why? It's because after 12 9 after 12 of night we consider as the new day. So he says that 1:30. So this was, as we all know, that we consider a new day after 12:30. So he says that 1:30 after 12, so 1:30 in the morning he says that. So it was a night time when the sky was clear and the stars could be seen twinkling. The pilot felt peace in being above a country that had fallen asleep while he was flying over France to England. It was 1:30 in the morning and he was fantasizing about holidaying with his family. So it's a clear idea, clear picture that one pilot is flying a plane France over to England at night time, and time was 1 and 1:30. Matlab means 1:30 in the morning, and he was fantasizing about holidaying with his family because now he is going to meet his family. So he, by the morning he should be reached over there, and he think that okay I have he thought that okay I have a good England because he belongs to England. So he go to England and he says, and he thought that he had a good he will have a good English breakfast with his family, and he was dreamt about to meet them. So it is the curiosity, rather than curiosity, it's a kind of craving to meet his family, and he was enjoying the atmosphere thoroughly because as he described us that the sky was clear, the moon was up, coming up to the east side, and as well as the stars were twinkling, the stars were shining in a great way, and the above sky of him is very much clear. I should call Paris control soon, I thought as I looked down past the nose of the aeroplane. I saw the lights of a big city in front of me. I switched on the radio and said, Paris control, Dakota DS-088 here. Can you hear me? I am on my way to England. Over. The voice from the radio answered me immediately. DS-008, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12° west now. DS-008, over. So here is this the simple way to connect yourself with this radio station, where you need to say, where you need to describe your way of going and the situation that you are flying from this to this and you are here at a time. So it's a general information sharing to your location, where you located and where you are going, where you come from and you are going to. So when the aeroplane was in France, the pilot thought to inform the Paris control personnel about his presence and for instructions. So he called Paris control. At that time, lights from the Paris city were blaring at him. So he saw that at night we have a very good atmosphere, and you will find this lighting, and if you are looking this scene from the skies. So he says that at that time lights from the Paris city were blaring at him. He informed the control agency, to which they replied with further instruction on direction, like that the radio answered immediately that DS-008, I can hear you, and he also suggests that you ought to turn 12° west now because you want to go to England, and that is why he got instruction and directions both by the radio. The control room at Paris instructed him to turn 12 degrees towards the west. He thought that as he has took his flight, so he suggests to Paris control room that he is now at the journey or at the way of the England. And Paris control replied him that he has to take 12 degrees. Paris control instructed him to turn 12 degrees west to 12 degree west 12 degree towards the west, and for his best journey. And the plane name is Old Dakota, and the number is DS0088. This Old Dakota plane was there to its journey. Yes, I checked up the map and the compass, switched over to my second and last fuel tank, and turned the Dakota 12 degree west towards England. I will be in time for breakfast, I thought. A good big English breakfast. Everything was going well. It was an easy flight. No, compass. Compass means instrument of telling the directions. In general says we can say hoka yantra. That is called compass. So he says that I checked the map and the compass. I have checked both the things, the map and the compass, that okay, I was in the right direction, I was in the right way. Switched over to my second and last fuel tank. He was switching to his last and second fuel tank, and turned the Dakota 12 degree west towards, as the radio station directed to go to the 12 degree west. So he turned his Dakota to 12 degree west towards the England. Now he thinking that okay, I will be in time for breakfast. He thought that okay, I will be at my place at the time of the breakfast. I will be reached there only. He thought that a good English breakfast. He belongs to England, so this kind of homemade food to meet a family. Everyone, if you are staying away from your family, then you have that charm to meet them, and especially when you meeting them after some time. So he has that feeling that okay, I have met my I will meet my family. But we all have together a very good breakfast, a good big English breakfast. Everything was going well because now at this time the atmosphere is clear, the sky is clear, the atmosphere is okay, so there is no need to fear. And that is why he says that okay, everything is going well because flight is going smooth, atmosphere is good. And he thought that okay, I will be in time, I will be there, I will be in England with my family in the time of breakfast. It was an easy flight. He thought that okay, everything is in the under control, so now it was an easy flight. Yes, after receiving the instructions, the pilot geared up and followed them while putting the last fuel tank into operation. Now he has to put his last fuel tank into operation, so he doesn't have any other options of fuel in his flight. All this time he was dreaming about his time with his family, and then he started thinking about having a satisfactory breakfast at the destination point. He thought, as I told you, that he was really eager to meet his family and have a good English breakfast. So he was thinking about that, about having a satisfactory breakfast at the destination point, and he was calm as everything was going as planned. Nothing is interrupting him, and that is why he was satisfied that okay, I have satisfactory breakfast with my family and everything is going well. So this flight was the easy one. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me when I saw the clouds. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me when I saw the clouds. Storm clouds. They were huge. They looked like black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. I knew I could not fly up and over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. I ought to go back to Paris, I thought, but I wanted to get home. I wanted that breakfast. I'll take the risk, I thought, and flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. Now he has left Paris about 150 kilometers behind him, and he saw the cloud. Storm cloud, not a simple one, it's a storm cloud. They were huge. They looked like a black mountain standing in front of him across the sky. So it's a huge stormy cloud. First, he know that he could not fly up over them, because it's a huge one. So he could not even fly over from the cloud, and he did not have enough fuel to fly around. Means take a round from that cloud and means go from the side of the cloud, but he didn't have enough fuel in his tank, so he won't be take a long way or take a round of that cloud and passing by the cloud. So he thought that I knew I could not fly up and over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. He is in the west, but he think that okay, I should fly around that stormy cloud from north or south, but he could not have enough fuel. He didn't have enough fuel in his tank. I ought to go back to Paris. First he think that okay, I should go back to Paris, I thought, but I wanted to get home. But that strong craving of meeting his family, having a breakfast with them. So I wanted that breakfast, and he want that breakfast tomorrow only, because he was such a he has such a intense craving for that meeting family and having the breakfast. So he says that I'll take the risk, and that is why he took the risk of his life as well as his passenger's life. I thought and flew that. He thought about that breakfast, his craving of meeting his family, and he flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. He take the risk. He decided to fly plane straight from that stormy cloud. Okay, so now the plane had crossed the Paris when he started seeing clouds in the sky. The presence of clouds made it unsafe and travel by air because there were chance of a storm. Okay, this cloud's presence made it unsafe travel for him by air because there were chance of storm. They were so huge and dark that pilot compared them with black mountains, and he says that to fight or to compared with this black cloud, that kind of situation was there, that they are too huge, too large, and it seems like everything were black in that. So it's like a black mountain. He knew he could not pass them, as it was impossible to go above them or escape them with the amount of fuel that was left in the last tank. He won't be able to go above from the cloud. He wasn't be able to escape them because he has a less amount of fuel in his last tank. The right decision would have been to fly back to Paris safely. The right decision is that he has to turn back, go to the Paris, so they all can be safe. But the pilot's decision making was clouded by his wish to meet his family. But the pilot decision making was also clouded by his wish to meet his family. Means that is the kind of a layer in his mind, that he gave priority to his family he's craving to meet his family, and according to that, he took such a stupid decision to go through these stormy clouds. He so desperately wanted to be with his family and have that English breakfast he had been dreaming of all day, that he took the risk of not going back. Thus, he headed the plane right into the storm. So, he was desperate to wanted to be with his family, and he had been dreaming all of the day of getting breakfast with his family, and that is why he took the risk of not going back, rather than he headed the plane into the storm. So he rather decide the rational decision was to go back to Paris, but rather doing that, he decided to go through this stormy clouds. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. I looked at the compass. I couldn't believe my eyes. The compass was turning round and round and round. It was dead. It would not work. The other instruments were suddenly dead too. I tried the radio. Now, he says that it was so dark because of the storm that nothing was visible outside the plane. He started losing control of the aeroplane. Aeroplane was jumping and twisted in the air because he loses control. He started losing his control of the aeroplane. The compass and the other instruments had also stopped working because of the bad weather, and he became helpless. Now he says that inside the clouds everything was become suddenly black. So it is impossible to see anything outside the plane. The aeroplane was jumped, and aeroplane was twisted in the air like here and there. He looked at the compass, but he couldn't believe that compass is turning round, and it become dead. The other instruments were suddenly dead, and they were not working properly, or they are not working at all. He tried the radio. At least he can contact the control station, so he gets some idea, but he become helpless. Paris control, can you hear me? There was no answer. The radio was dead too. I had no radio, no compass, and I couldn't not see where I was. Now he tried to connect himself with this radio station, that Paris control, can you hear me? But there was no answer. Why? Because radio was too dead. Now no instrument will working properly, or not working at all. He had no radio, no compass, and he could not see where he was at least. I was lost in the storm. He totally lost in this storm. Then in the black clouds quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. It had no light on its wings, but I could see it flying next to me through the storm. So he says that in this black clouds quite near his plane, he saw another aeroplane. The aeroplane had no lights on its wings. There were no light on the wings of the aeroplane, but he could see it flying next to him through the storm. The another plane was flying in the storm. Now another idiot was there. He think like that there are some person like me who is also eager to meet his family, and who is flying plane with me, next to me, though his the plane has no lights on its wings. I could see the pilot face turn towards me. Means the first part of the plane. He saw that the first part of the plane up, turned towards him. I was very glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. Follow me, he was saying. Follow me. He knows that I am lost. I thought he is trying to help me. Now, he tried calling the Paris Control Agency who had helped him earlier but couldn't connect because of the weather, because the radios are dead too. In the midst of nowhere, when everything failed, he saw a ray of hope when he saw another aeroplane. Now he become mad. He can't get anything. He is helpless because now there is no one to help him. Nothing is working. No one will helping him out. There is no hope of being alive. And at the same time, he saw a ray of hope when he saw another aeroplane. He felt relieved when he saw another pilot's face and willingness to help him escape the storm. He feels relief. He feels that okay, there is a hope because the another plane is there, and the pilot face. He saw another pilot face, and he willingness to help him to escape this storm. He thought to himself that the other pilot is very kind, as he knew that they were lost and was trying to help him. Okay, and he thought that himself that the other pilot is very kind because I don't know, but where he came from, as he know that I was in trouble, so he was very kind as he knew that they were lost and was trying to help him. I don't know, but as it's a feeling like God has sent him for me only, and he is here to save us, as if he knew that we were in a trouble. Okay, I could see the pilot face turned towards me. I was very glad to see another person. Follow me, he was saying. Okay, we will discuss this. Okay. He turned his aeroplane slowly to the north in front of my Dakota so that it would be easier for me to follow him. He was very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. Now there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank the fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. So the other pilot took his plane ahead of the lost aeroplane to make it easier for them to follow, while the author followed him like an obedient child. The other pilot took his plane ahead of the lost plane, so he was following that unknown plane which is appear in this black storm, and he is following that unknown plane as the obedient child who didn't know how to come out from this situation, and that is why he is following him like an obedient child. He was also panicking because there was very less amount of fuel left in the plane. Okay, and now he says that they are in front of me in the clouds, and he says that now there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank because to fly or 5 or 10 minutes more, because now he's come out and he says that if you find that now he has to fly just 5 or 10 minutes and there is enough fuel also in the tank. I was starting to feel frightened again, but then he started to go down and I followed through the storm. Suddenly I came out of the clouds and saw two long straight lines of lights in front of me. It was a runway, an airport. I was safe. Turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane, but the sky was empty. There was nothing there. The black aeroplane was gone. I could not see it anywhere. So, it says that runway, a strip of hard ground along with aircraft takeoff and land. Frightened means terrified, followed means chased, obedient, one who obeys, and glad means happy. Now, as we know that he is obedient, he is he was following that plane as an obedient child, and he was also panicking because there was a less amount of fuel left in his tank. It was only then that he started coming out of the storm and he could see the runway to land his plane safely. When he turned to thank the other pilot, he realized that the plane that helped him had disappeared as soon as he came out of the storm. As he became normal, as his plane came out from this cloudy storm and he decided to thank the other pilot, he realized that when he decided to thank the pilot for his help and bring him out from such a disaster, when he turned around his face, he realized that the plane was not there, the pilot was not there. The plane had disappeared as soon as he came out of the storm. Yes. So, as we know that he successfully come out from this clouds, from this stormy cloud, due to help of this unknown aeroplane. And when he come out from this, he wants to say thanks to the another pilot, but he won't be able to found the plane and the pilot who helped him. They had disappeared as soon as he came out of the storm, and he won't be able to see that aeroplane and person anywhere. Okay, I landed and was not sorry to walk away from Old Dakota near the control tower. I went and asked the woman in the control center where I was and who the other pilot was. I wanted to say thank you. She looked at me very strangely and then laughed. Another aeroplane? Up there in this storm? No other aeroplanes were flying tonight. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar. So, who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio and without any more fuel in my tank? In my tanks, who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without lights? Radar. Radar is a system for detecting the presence, direction, distance, and speed of aircraft, ships, and other objects by sending out pulses of radio waves which are reflected off the object back to the sources, and strangely means in a strange manner. Now he says that I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the Old Dakota near the control tower. He went there and asked the woman in the control center where he was and who the other pilot was. I wanted to say thanks to him. He go and ask that the plane was with me in this stormy atmosphere, how it suddenly disappeared. So he has a curiosity and he go to the control center and ask the woman that I was where I was, what is the particular area, and who the other pilot was there in this stormy cloud who helped me. I wanted to say thanks to him. So she looked at him very strangely and then laughed and asking in such a laughable and humorous way that another aeroplane up there in that storm. No other aeroplane were flying tonight. Yours was the only one which were flying tonight. I could see on the radar. Radar means it's a particular kind of a system which detecting the presence, direction, distance, and speed of aircraft. Okay, so in radar I have detecting your planes only. You are the presence one, no other plane. Are you crazy? In this kind of cloud, there are another plane is flying, so no one is there. So who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio? Now he is too shocked, and that's why he asked that. Then who helped me to arrive there safely, without a compass or a radio, and without any more fuel in my tanks? Even my fuel tank has not enough fuel in that. Though he helping me out to reach safely. Who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane, flying in the storm without lights? He was flying the plane in this stormy clouds without lights. Who helped me out, though there was no system working in my plane, no radio, no compass, okay, not enough fuel in my tanks. Though he was guide me that strange black aeroplane and the pilot flying in that storm without any lights. So the author did not know where he had landed, but was not afraid to leaving his plane unattended, and he headed straight into the control room to ask about the other pilot. To his utmost surprise, the lady informed him that there was no other plane in the sky except his, because of the bad weather. Because the weather is bad, so no plane was in the sky except pilot's, author's plane was there, narrator's plane was there. He is left astonished with lots of questions unanswered in his mind. That questions are that who helped him, okay, to arrive there safely without a compass, without or a radio, without any more fuel in his tanks. Who was the pilot in that strange black aeroplane, flying in the storm, though he hasn't any light in the wings of the plane? Who was there? It's a mystery. Thrill, create kind of. So these are the writing skills. Now there are so many options that what can it be? It can be his imaginary, that it leads to him the another mind thought. What kind sort of things are there that should be we can conclude? Maybe some help from this the spiritual power, whatever it should be. But according to the record, there wasn't any presence of the black aeroplane except the author's plane. Okay, yes. To sum up, I would like to sum up this lecture with this two quotes. The first is that it's going to be hard, but hard does not mean impossible. Sometimes you feel that, like author feels that he decided to go through the cloud, but when he entered in the cloud, it is hard because nothing is work, no situation is in favor, not a single situation was in his favor. It is going to be hard, too hard, but hard does not mean impossible. In our life, there are so many circumstances and situations were like and are like and will be like that, where we thought that now there is not a single hope of been changed in this kind of situation, we feel that it is too hard, but it doesn't mean it is impossible. If we want to achieve too hard, we have to work too hard, we have to work rationally, and then we will definitely get the things. Too hard, it doesn't mean it is impossible. And if you separate the impossible, it will be turned into I am possible. So never give hope, never give up until your last breath, never give up from the situation, and try to fight them. Make yourself enough capable and strong to face the situation. So it is going to be hard, it is hard, hardness should be there, difficulties should be there, but it doesn't mean that it is impossible task. Yes. The second one, when everything seems to be against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. Every time we can see that whenever aeroplane takes off, it against the wind, means wind is the opposite direction of the plane. Wind is not always with the plane only, means everything seems to be against you. You think that nothing is in my hand, no one is supporting me, everything is not in favor of me, no one is favoring me, everyone is against me. At that time, you have to remember that you have to work, you have to go with the flow, because every time when aeroplane take off, the wind is always against him, not with it. And though plane successfully fly in the sky to go through with the air, to go in between from this wind. So every time circumstances and things are not in our control or not according to us, it doesn't mean we won't work in that. We must try to accept that change, and we must go with our flow. We must work, we never lose hope, and we never think that we won't be able to do such things. I hope you all enjoy this lecture. This lesson will teach us so many things, to you, to us. First of all, being a rational one, you have to think rationally. Okay, whatever he did in the craving of getting something, that is all okay. He wants to meet his family, but to go in that cloud, go in that stormy cloud, is not such a good idea. However, he was helped by and he will be able to come out safely and successfully, but every time luck is not with you. Taking risk is a good, but you have to think rationally twice while you are in thinking of taking such a risk. So yeah, that is the important aspect in our life, that being a rational person, it is our duty to think rationally and do according to situation. Everything is not in our control, but whenever some things are not in our control or they are uncontrolled, at that time you have, or we have, also think in a rational way how to control the uncontrolled things, how to turn adversities in these favorable situations. So it is always up to you guys, always up to our decisions, our thinking ability and all that. Yes, here the one quote, that I'll take the risk, sometimes they are asked to narrate it. So here he refers to doing nothing but the right thing, which is flying back to Paris when he come to know about the storm. But despite being aware of the bad weather, the pilot headed straight into the storm and risked the lives of his fellow passengers. So here it suggests that that I'll take the risk means he took the risk of his lives as well as his passenger's life, which he has no right to do such a thing. Being a good and witty one, he has to take a decision to go back. Then yes, this another sentence, that I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota. Here narrator had landed at an unknown place, as his compass and a radar had stopped functioning in the storm. He was not scared to leave the plane unattended and go to the control center to inquire about the mysterious plane which had helped him out of the storm. So here he suggested like that I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota, because he has a duty to attend their passengers too. So he was not think once to unattended the plane and leave, because he hasn't know about the place. So he even don't know where he landed his plane, and he left his plane unattended and go to the control center and inquire about the things and the plane. Okay. I hope you all like this lecture very well. You have a whole idea about the lesson and you will enjoy this session very good. Bye bye. Have a good time ahead. Enjoy yourselves.